Boom shakalaka, as Bitcoin price continues to slide. Today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at the 5 most likely Bitcoin price prediction models. You definitely want to stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're taking a look at the 5 most likely Bitcoin price prediction models based on previous periods similar to where Bitcoin is today. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Come join us over on Twitter at the Crypto Love, where every day we share some of the best charts on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, today, the market is in extreme fear. We haven't felt this type of fear for quite a while, and it is palpable as the market continues to tumble down another 3% today. Bitcoin at 34,203, Ethereum at 25.26, BNB at 3.58, XRP 57 cents, Solana $76, Cardano 74 cents, Terra Luna $64, and Dogecoin at 12 cents. And if you want to know the top coins today to pick to outdo just holding Bitcoin alone, right now on all exchanges up 642%, we have Callow, Weiwei, Tron, Beldex, and Mirrored US Oil. And if you want to check this out for yourself, add some low caps for higher risk but potentially much higher reward, there is a discounted link down in the description. Also, you guys know I have a partnership with Celsius. Check this out. Celsius has hot new loan rates starting at 0.1% APR. So if we are headed into a crypto winter, instead of selling your cryptocurrency, maybe worth taking out a loan at 0.1% APR. That's pretty crazy. You can see here the APR is based on the loan to value, 25%, 33%, or 50%. But some of the benefits of borrowing with Celsius: no origination fees, no credit checks, one-on-one lending customer support, flexible terms, and easy in-app management. And this is something that I myself have done personally. A few years ago, I borrowed with Celsius, and it was a great experience. Not only that, though, they have their customer support line. Contact us. You can actually speak to a person. Go figure, huh? You just call 1-866-HODL now, and you can speak to a customer care expert Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 11 p.m., or you can get online by submitting a ticket. Not only that, Alex Mashinsky has a fireside chat coming up scheduled for the conference in Palm Beach, Florida on May 19th from 1:20 to 1:40 p.m. And lastly, if the market is taking a tumble and you guys need a job, well, you may want to work at Celsius. You want to shape the next era of DeFi? Well, the Celsius team is searching for the brightest minds in the industry. Interested in working with them, they're looking for those interested in blockchain, Web3, and DeFi. You can apply now at celsius.network/careers or email them at jobs@celsius.network. Now, today, with Bitcoin price continuing to tumble, has broken through to the bottom side of this support, broken through the 100 weekly moving average here in blue, broken through this trend line that we've had for many years at this point. It looks like the next area of support could potentially be down around $28,000 to $30,000. So we may see price continuing to tumble. And as I was going to do some research for this video, I noticed that one of the great chartists, 888 Velvet, his account is not existing on Twitter. So if you guys know how to help when this happens, please help 888 Velvet, because he is a great chartist. Now, onto TechDev. We can see here that this chart we had previously, suggesting that right now we have basically a low that we won't see again, and yet the price is continuing to tumble. Also, this chart from None Your Business, showing that each of the last 11 years in Bitcoin, when we had the prices closed above its yearly open, it's never closed back below the prior yearly open. Now the 2021 open is $28,976. Will this be the bottom, or will this be different? Could we invalidate this? There's only a 7% chance that it would actually go lower than this, but could this potentially happen? We'll have to see, because Bitcoin is right now on very strong 10-year support, right around the $34,000, $35,000 area. Very strong support trend line for Bitcoin, although Bitcoin's never been in a recession before, but very strong support trend line. And based on this chart right here, statistically, according to TA Analyst, there's still another year before this cycle is over. These are lengthening cycles, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and we would expect to see a peak before the trough. So this may just be the last shakeout before price takes off, because 888 Velvet, the guy whose account no longer exists, well, he not only called the Bitcoin bull run from $10,000 to $65,000 the day before it happened. He not only called the $32,000 bottom when Bitcoin was at $65,000, but he's also predicting previously on his charts that we are in for potentially a big bear trap and Bitcoin going to roughly $160,000. So that being said, that brings us over to here. Just one thing to remember, no matter what's happening with the market, and we will get into these price predictions in just a moment, but no matter what happened with the market, Bitcoin is still outperforming every single asset class out there. We're still early. Hodling for 4 years, Bitcoin has always outperformed every other asset class, always. Zooming out, things become clear. Just remember that. Still one of the best asset classes out there by almost an order of magnitude. These are at 1 point something. This is at 4.2. So that being said, let's take a look at some price prediction scenarios for Bitcoin, because a lot of people want to know what's going to happen to Bitcoin where it is right now. And based on these 5 points, which I think are the 5 most likely points for where we are in Bitcoin's trajectory, over the next few years, we could have a price from $20,000 all the way up to $200,000. As a matter of fact, that's over the next November 22, over the next 6 months. Based on these 5 models, we could have a price between $20,000 and $200,000. So it could be a very, very volatile year. Now, what particularly are these? Well, I think we're in one of a few areas. So first off, we can see that Bitcoin price is breaking through the 100 weekly moving average, this blue line. And over here, same blue line. Now, previously, after this happened both times, we saw roughly a 50% price dip. We saw this back here in 2014. We also saw this right here in 2018. So those are 2 of the areas we're going to take a look at. And, well, why don't we just do that right now? So first, the yellow one, the first one back here, which is in, coincidentally, yellow. Now, if we see that, and you can just follow right above my head, well, we would roughly have a Bitcoin price retracement down to roughly $20,000 in the next month or so. Selling may go away. We may see a market tank by June, July of this year before a recovery where it would take roughly until about May of 2023 for price to get back to levels we're seeing right now around $40,000. So it may take a year to get back to levels where we are right now. And then after that, price would continue parabolically to grow until about 2025, when in April of 2025, which is what, that's 3 years from now, we could see a peak roughly around $1 million Bitcoin. So that's potential scenario 1 here in the yellow. Now, the next time that Bitcoin crosses below the 100 weekly moving average is in red right here. If we were to have this thing, we would see Bitcoin price again tank down to roughly $25,000 before briefly coming back up into the fair value price of Bitcoin, roughly around $60,000 by the end of this year. So we might see a short-term dip before we see price recovery towards the end of the year, but then another potential dip, maybe even with a COVID pandemic type of thing. But if it doesn't have that, then the bottom would likely be around $40,000 before we head up to roughly $250,000 in 2024. So those are the 2 scenarios based on Bitcoin breaking through the 100 weekly moving average, which we're doing right now. There are also 2 other scenarios, because as you can see here, there's this little gap between the dashed orange line and the dotted orange line. And this is basically the Bitcoin fair value price. And you can see Bitcoin spends a lot of time there. Spent about a year and a half, 2 years back here. It also spent about a year and a half back here in that area. Well, we have just entered that area once again. So let's take a look first at this blue area, and let's just chart out the price based on that. Well, if we do that, and this doesn't include the price peak afterwards, but just continuing to grow where we are right there, we could see over the next few years that Bitcoin could just continue in a bullish trend. Yes, it may go down to roughly $34,000, but it would just continue in this fair value price. And in the next few years, by the next halving, we'll have Bitcoin over $100,000. before potentially another bull run. Well, that's the first scenario. The second scenario would be here in green. And if we see the same thing right here where Bitcoin just follows that, well, we could see a Bitcoin peak as early as October of this year, sending the price over $100,000 to $113,000 before it comes back down and just continues to ride up that fair value price, again, keeping Bitcoin roughly around $100,000 until the halving, when we may see the price shoot up after that. Which brings us to this last scenario right here in orange. Now, this is based on this chart by TechDev, saying that right now where we are, where we have the active supply over 1 year ago at all-time highs in orange with a rollover of the 100-day rate of change, the last time this happened was right back here when Bitcoin went from $10,000 to $65,000, what we're seeing right now. And if we put that where we are right now, well, then potentially all this may be the last shakeout. This may be the bottom before Bitcoin rides up to roughly $200,000 by November of this year. So as you can see, there's a lot of scenarios, a lot of predictions for where Bitcoin price could be. None of these are true, but these are just based on history. Well, Bitcoin could potentially rhyme. So if you want to know where Bitcoin price could likely go, somewhere between $20,000 and $200,000 over the next year to few years. But all of these are looking pretty darn bullish to me. So that's all for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Come join us over on Twitter. I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.